You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
This podcast is presented by the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, who have been telling Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. Follow them online at oklahomahof.com, and then definitely follow them on Instagram for all the information that you need, because I'm sure that's where you follow us as well, at oklahomahof. Let's get into today's episode. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, your host, back with another episode. Chris Cox is on the podcast with me. You know, I always mix you and Chris Fox up because you're both in marketing, right? You both kind of do that kind of like strategic marketing, like branding, that stuff. And always get you guys mixed up. When I did the podcast with him, I almost called him Chris Cox and you Chris. So anyway, shout out Chris if you're watching.
Yeah, we work together all the time, so that's
fun. I'm sure that's
which makes
that's
it even
interesting.
Worse.
Yeah, but mate, thanks for coming in. Excited to get into the story and chat about what you do and why you love Oklahoma City and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about you and where you grew up to start.
Yeah, so I grew up in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. I was born in Stillwater. Okay. So go Pokes.
Go Pokes. Yes.
You have to say that apparently.
You're welcome on this.
Stillwater.
Yeah, you're welcome on that on the podcast saying go Pokes. So.
I also like OU, so we'll keep it in between there. Grew up in Stillwater a little bit, and then my family quickly moved to Gatewood. So right in the middle of Oklahoma City. Yeah. And at that time, Gatewood was still not quite nice yet, but I think that made it more fun. Yeah. And then I actually ended up going to school at Rosary, which is in that neighborhood. So I would walk across the street to school. That was really lucky for me because I loved that. And then when you get into the 8th grade, you could walk home for lunch. I felt so cool.
Like, Mom, coming home for lunch.
Yeah, like you guys have to go to the cafeteria. I'm going to go home. Yeah. Oh man, it was the weirdest flex ever. Ended up going to Mount St. Mary's for high school. Okay. No, great fucking school that is. Beautiful, historic. And while I was there, senior year, they still haven't identified who did it, but there's speculation on who did it. Anyways, the building was burned down. Not completely, thank goodness, because it's like literally a historic site. Yeah. So I remember taking classes in like RV trailers in the parking lot, and it was so stupid hot because this is
middle
Oklahoma.
Of summer. Yeah. Middle of 100 degrees. Yeah. No AC.
And I just remember the ACs were running so hard that you couldn't even hear the professor if you're not in the first row.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, crap.
That must have been miserable.
Got to be a first row student now.
Yeah, have to be up there now.
And this all kind of worked out in my favor, so I didn't really have high expectations for myself. The next thing I'm about to say has nothing to do with what I just said, but I was only going to enroll to go to OU.
Okay. Yeah, like, I'll be fine. Yeah.
OU's a good school. I mean, it is a good school, and it has the program I wanted. Yeah. But then my high school counselor was like, well, you should apply to more schools. It's like, they all cost money to apply to. It's kind of a ripoff. Yeah. So it's like, I'll try a couple more. And then she literally goes, well, what about this? This is a new scholarship for Oklahoma City University. They just rolled it out, and apparently no one's really applied yet. Yeah. I was like, all right, I guess I'll do that. Because I'm in high school, right? You know, I'm still kind of angsty.
I don't like being told what to do. I got life figured out. Yeah.
And that was a game changer for me. So shout out Miss Adele. She changed my life, literally.
That's
pretty
really
wild.
Cool.
I got a big fat scholarship to OCU, and that made the decision that easy because I had
100%.
I had a $1,000 scholarship to OU, and that's just a slap in the face.
Yeah, it's like here's a token of our appreciation. Enjoy.
I was like, come on. Yeah. So then I ended up going to OCU, and that was amazing, and I met so many great people there. And right after I graduated, I started working with one of my friends who I met there, John Riesenberg's family. They owned Belle Isle Restaurant, so I started doing their advertising and website building for them, and created online menu, online ordering systems, and that was like my foot in the door to the hospitality scene in Oklahoma City. Yeah. And that's probably like the transitional point of where it all just took off. After that, I was doing lots of other restaurants and bars and brewers and growers and all this kinds of stuff, and that kind of teetered off more recently here with the kind of food bubble as well as COVID. Yeah. So this is where you will see the house helps be born. Right. Didn't lose per se, but a lot of clients made the very wise decision that, hey, we don't really need to spend this money on advertising right now because we're at limited capacity. Right. We can only do to go. Like, let's cut costs where we can. makes perfect sense. No one's mad at all. That's a good decision. But I was like, okay, but we've worked together for so long now. We're actually friends. So like, how can I keep helping you, but for free?
Yeah.
So we did the house helps.
Add value.
Yeah. So I literally texted Haley McDermott. She's the owner of the Bunker and Pump. I said, hey, I've got this idea. I have no idea if it's going to work. I just really want to test it out. I think it'll work. And we've worked together before and it's been a success. She just said, when can you pick up the keys?
Yeah, sure.
I was like, okay. So it's amazing that people have faith in you. And I feel like at this point, at least I have earned it.
Yeah.
But I always suffer from imposter syndrome every now and again. I'm like, maybe, but then I do it and it works. I'm like, I just need to get that out of my head.
That's an entrepreneur thing too, though, isn't it?
It is.
Right? We struggle with stuff like that and thinking. I mean, I'm a Welsh guy that hosts a podcast about Oklahoma. I struggle with that too.
I know. Reading your bio, I'm like, this is interesting.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
We went to the Bunker and did a live stream from there, and literally no promotion, just went up on Facebook Live, and I set up cross-posting, and within 2 hours we raised $2,000 that all went straight to the pockets of now COVID unemployed Bunker and Pump staff.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let's do it again next week. Did it again next week, worked again. I was like, all right, this is kind of serious.
Rolling.
I think I'm going to get screwed on my taxes. You guys want to form a real 501c3 and a board and have meetings? And I was like, and we did all that.
So like, I guess this is getting serious.
It's next level. And I was like, we did one with Paseo, and then the biggest one we've done so far was with Oklahoma Visual Arts Coalition. We did their 12 by 12 with them. And they were able to raise just over $65,000 for artists all across Oklahoma. Yeah, of all ages too. That's the selling point for me, because like, an established artist, I don't think needs a grant. Well, they do, sure, but not as much as like, I want to see the young people get the money. Because like, if I was in high school and got a grant to make art, I would be obsessed with art for the rest of my life. I guarantee it.
Yeah. You got to invest in the future, haven't you?
Big time.
And those people who are older, okay, they're struggling just like everybody else.
I agree,
but
yes.
they've lived so long that I'm sure they're fine. Or they got family or safe. Anyway, I totally understand your point.
Yeah.
So for someone who doesn't know what the house is, what is the house?
Yeah, that is the best question, because there's
Great name, by the way.
100 answers. Yeah, I love that. I actually made the name when I graduated college. I moved into a stone house. It's beautiful. The only stone house in the neighborhood. It was fully remodeled, and it was in the OCU area. Like, again, I don't know what it is. I love to walk, I guess. But I moved here, and I would walk to work at OCU.
Okay.
Easy.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was very young still, and I just wanted to start creating content. So all the people that lived in the house with me, my roommates, were also kind of interested in that as well, but from different aspects. One of them has a very popular OU podcast.
Okay.
So he's already creating. And then my friend who lived upstairs, Colin, was like, I'll be in any of the videos you want. Yeah. You could do whatever. I'll eat hot foods. Like, we're just like no rules kind of sketch almost style content. So it's like, cool. Well, this name's easy. We all live in the same house. Let's just call it the house.
Yeah.
They might not know that. They will now when they listen to this, but that's where the name came from. Where did the tiger come from is what everyone asks. Yeah. And that is just because I love tigers.
Okay.
And I love what they represent. Yeah. Which is just like courage and solidarity, and like, they're just beautiful.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And I also just love the colors of tigers and the brand, and it all looks very cohesive and clean. But so we started making content for fun and making cooking recipes, making dating profile tips, making all kinds of silly videos. And then people were starting to like catch on and enjoy it, all while I'm using the same brand to market like social media management for restaurants and stuff. These are kind of simultaneously happening. Yeah. But we're making this kind of really silly content. And then I was like, I don't really know if I want to do silly anymore.
Gotcha.
So I like,
you gotta be serious at some point, like, if someone's gonna pay you.
Yeah. Right? So we hit up Hall's Pizza Kitchen and shot a video there, like lofts, cameras, everything beautiful. And it turned out so well, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if everyone else did, but it inspired me to keep going. And then we did a state fair one, and that was pretty popular. Yeah. And I love that one because every September, the views keep coming back to that video.
Oh, I love that.
You know, that little influx of like state fair. Because we genuinely went. I spent way too much money. By the way, none of my videos have made me any money. They were cost me money.
Wants to be a YouTuber out there.
So don't,
because you love it.
Don't
copy
because you want to make money. Yeah, it definitely has to be because you love it. Yeah. But we tried so many foods at the state fair. That's why I loved that video. Including fried watermelon, which I am recommending no one ever tries in their entire life. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
This is coming from someone who kind of enjoys the donut burger. Sure. But I hate the fried watermelon.
Yeah. Jeez, I didn't even know you could have fried watermelon.
Okay, so it burns your mouth.
How does that work?
Because it's not supposed to.
Yeah.
Put it on a stick and fry it real quick, like flash fry it. It's disgusting. Yeah.
Wow.
That's the fare.
Interesting. So the house is a creative agency basically that was initially tailored towards the food industry.
Correct.
And then now it's more of,
it's gone full entertainment, basically. As of lately, since 2020, it's become a media agency more than anything, because there's no reason for me to be spending my time creating stories when there's really more important stories that I can help assist in telling. So we've had our photographers go out to events and hearings and demonstrations and protests and capture images, and we've worked with other local media, and Territory loves our stuff as well. We've hosted art galleries for our Black Lives Matter images under the House Helps, and had those prints available for purchase, and we gave 100% back to the BLM OKC chapter.
Okay.
And that's been on display in the Paseo, and it's currently, we just took it down at OCU, but I believe it's going to go up at UCO in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Don't quote me on that, but we're aiming for it.
Maybe.
It's a heavy gallery, and I have no right to even talk about it. It's not my story, but the images we got are amazing. Yeah, and scary. I mean,
it's a significant time in the city's history and in the nation's history, right? So it's really cool to be able to be on the side that you're like, hey, we have this content. It's it's important, and there's nothing better as a photographer than just being like capturing that moment, right?
Yeah.
When you see a photo and you're like, oh, that's cool, okay, that happened or this happened. But when you were there and that like your guys caught the photos or you took the photos, it means a lot more. You're fully invested then in the situation, not just like, oh yeah, I was a part of it, here's a picture that somebody took that I just reshared.
I think that's what's been more interesting for me in the media aspect of the house, is like, we're only telling stories that we're on the ground level at. And I want to brag about being unbiased, because
there's not many people out there.
And you may come to our site and disagree, but it genuinely is just facts, and it genuinely is just photos we've taken. It genuinely is just, if you want to learn more, I'll link back to other articles as well. And that's what other news sites won't do. They won't say, hey, leave our site to go educate yourself more. They're like, keep reading 10 more articles. So you doom scroll, right? But I'm like, hey, you want to learn more about mental health in America? Visit this actual expert. We have experts too, but these are real experts. Go to them. This is our own experiences.
That's something that like I struggle with, like the media here. There's very little people who are right in the middle, right? Because that's not where the views are sometimes. It's not. The views are either like way over there or they're way over there, and then people go either way, and you're sat in the middle, and you're like, actually, we're doing really great work, and this is factual news. No one cares, which is really sad. Hopefully, some people will start caring now in the near future. But so, where does at what age are you starting to like get creative, love tech, love pictures, creative, like designing? What is this? Where does that all come from?
Yeah. That's a good question. What age did I start loving tech and all that stuff? I know for a fact, I know entrepreneur is a good word, but for some reason I don't.
I cringe every time I hear that word.
I do, right? Yeah. Okay, but I'm going to use it, but I don't like it. I just want people to know that, okay?
I've said that many times on the podcast. You're not alone.
Okay. Yeah. So I remember being maybe 6th grade, and this is cliche, but of course everyone had a lemonade stand, sure. But like, I remember building a stand, like a real, like the ones you see in commercials. Yeah. I built an actual stand, and we had drinks and sodas and snacks and Pokemon cards, unopened packs, and like I had a little convenience store in our neighborhood. Yeah. And like it started making a couple $100 every now and again, because it was all the other neighborhood kids coming and buying Pokemon cards for me that I charged like $1 more or something, and like candy bars, so we would go buy at Sam's Club and sell for $1. And I used to go to school until I got in trouble and have a backpack full of candy. I was like, it's just candy, but it could have been other things, right?
Right, exactly, yeah.
So I've always had like the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah. What was that hustle? Another word that's just like,
hustle, right, wow. Yeah. Don't brag about just working and doing a good job. Like,
you're like, hey, I work for myself. That's all I need to say.
Yeah. So that really kickstarted all the like aggressive business tactic spirits, and my mom owns her own practice, so I was like, I kind of want to learn how to build websites. Maybe I could build you a website. And I built her an absolutely terrible website.
What year was this?
This was, Probably like 05.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty early, but still like.
There was no Squarespace then.
No. There were not builders.
So
if there were builders,
click, drop template done.
Yeah, I don't even know
It was,
who the first builder would have been. Wix maybe, but either way, no builder. It was a disgusting website. I still need to build her one to this day. I think I gave her a bad taste in her mouth for websites because it was so bad. But I was like, this is my first website I've ever done.
Yeah.
But I had a blast.
Right.
I was like, I can't believe people learn all this code and know how to do this. This is so cool. But I also decided that's not what I want to learn.
Right. We sat behind a computer for the rest of my life in a dark room creating websites.
I think gaming also helped me get into the creative industry. I used to very much follow like, instead of like the games and the competitiveness behind it, but more so like the studios developing games and the artwork behind it. And like I love a game where you look in the walls and there's an actual like image. I'm like, someone at that studio picked that specifically for this, and that blows my mind. And 80s movies always gets me excited because all the props are real. And but as far as like the live streaming goes and the photography and videography, really just in the past 4 or 5 years probably, I've always wanted to create content and be in front of the camera, and that's been natural for me. I'm still interested in that, but more so lately I've been wanting to be behind it, because I do have a specific vision and I do want to take specific shots, and I can translate them sometimes, but if I just grab the hardware and just do it, we're set, you know? Yeah. The bummer is I don't get to take as many Fruit Loop milk baths if I'm behind the camera.
That's one of the things, if you follow the house or you, that's the funny thing is like the stuff that you, like the photos and the content, it's just hilarious, isn't it? And I'm just like, every time I look at it, and obviously because you have a beard and it gets stuck in the beard. And what was was it chili last time, or there was something you just like dumped over your head?
We did a McDonald's shoot. My friend had just got her hair dyed like pure red. Yeah. And someone made a joke that she looks like a sexy Ronald McDonald.
Okay.
So it's like, let's play with that. Let's make you a sexy Ronald McDonald.
Look it up, see what it was.
So I'm wearing a red apron, no shirt underneath, and she's just squeezing a 64-ounce ketchup over my head and just going. And like, I compared it with the American Psycho Christian Bale photo. Yeah. I was like, it was a good time.
So that was kind of like back to, I guess, the silly stuff that started out.
It's still silly, yeah. I mean, we're going to stay silly forever. I think that's why people actually enjoy working with us, is because we will come in. We are very professional, and I love working with clients, and like, I guarantee you most of them would say that back. We've got good communication systems, Slack, amazing app. But we're also not afraid to be like, this is a good shot, but what if we like threw that in there? And like, I think we're able to make things a little spicy and edgy without going over that line of being just pure silly.
Pure ridiculous,
Except for when it's my content, there is no line.
There is no, because on your own platform, you can do whatever you want, right? And that's good. You've got to keep that personality, right? That thing that makes you who you are.
Exactly.
Because if you lose that, you lose your creativity, you lose your vision, and you start doing something that everybody else is doing, right? You start like towing the line, and you're just one of the herd, and that's never a good thing, especially in creative, because you've got to stand out. Your job is making sure businesses stand out.
Yeah, exactly.
If you lose that for your personal brand, you know, it's not good, is it?
I think that's why we've always kind of had the internal thoughts on our team of like, oh, they're paying us, we'll just do it how they want it. Yeah. I'm like, we're never going to have that attitude. If they have a specific way, let's explore it with them, and then just offer our suggestions along the road. And if none of them stick, that is still fine, yes. But I'm not just going to say, oh, this is exactly what they want, let's just give them exactly what they want and wash our hands. Yeah. We could do that, and that's probably what a smart agency would do. But like, I'm more interested in creating a product that I'm also very proud of. And if I'm proud of it, I know that they'll be proud of it as well. Yeah.
So it starts early on in creative stuff. You build a website for mum. You still need to build a website, a better one, I guess. And then I guess you start diving into social media, and then around that time, social media is becoming more known. People, not just kids, are on it, right? A lot more people are on it. Yeah. Signing up, between 2005 and 2010. Probably later as well, and you see an opportunity to dive into social as well?
Pretty much. I think there's still an opportunity in Oklahoma City for it. I think a lot of businesses and brands don't actually do a very good job on their social media, or it's a back seat where also, like, you don't need it. There's great viral places that don't even need it. They're going to be fine. Like, I understand conceptually why Coca-Cola advertises 24/7, but they absolutely don't need to.
They don't need to,
But I just
one
saw
Super Bowl ad would be fine for the year, wouldn't it?
Everyone or just leave up all their signage everywhere and just pay for the branding. I just noticed that there's not a lot of actual interaction on social media locally, and at least there wasn't. I feel like it's grown really fast, which is amazing. Like, you can just connect with people very easily. That's why I loved social media. But I've noticed businesses just doing the old one-way communication is what I call it.
Right.
Post.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. What flavor, what color, what size?
Yeah.
No
Nothing, no response.
I'm like, you guys have literally lost sales. I can add this up for you and tell you how much money you've lost just by not doing two-way. Forget the just posting.
Yeah.
You're just not even engaged with. You're like, you're shouting at people and they don't get to talk back. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're like, look at me. Oh, I have a question. I don't care.
Yeah. So I saw this gap. I was like, I'm willing to just run a couple of them all at once, just me personally, and just charge a monthly rate. And that really was for a little while my building blocks to start buying gear.
Yeah.
And then to get into the video stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's not cheap.
No, it's not. And that's one thing. And also and I've had people come to me and I do kind of the same thing as you. I have some brand social media that I kind of help follow a little bit. It takes a lot more time than people think.
Oh my gosh, insane. Right? Yeah.
So, and I'll probably, like I did early on, you undercharge, right? Like, I get to my number and I'm like, okay, I have 5 people that all give me this much a month. I'm set.
Yeah.
And then you think, I have to create content for 5 different businesses every day.
Yep.
It's a lot.
And answer questions.
Oh, yeah. But then is it tough to make businesses realize that, like, it's not just posting. There's a lot more that goes into it, and this is worth the value?
So when I first started, it was very, 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 very hard to illustrate that.
Yeah.
But then once I started actually just doing it and undercharging, you just said, I undercharged big time. I literally was so frustrated at one point earlier on, maybe 2014. I was like, literally next year, charging double is my bare minimum.
Yeah.
I started doing that and no one batted an eye still. Yeah. That's how bad I was undercharging myself. But once I started working with them all, I really honed in on my package, I guess. And it's like, you get your post, you get 1 hour a week of interaction, you get 24/7 support, because I can handle the support, because the support, that's actually their favorite thing.
Yeah.
Because that's the literal sales, that's the, hey, where can I get this? Oh, you can go to XYZ and pick this up. That's a sale.
Yeah.
It's been easier just by using case studies, aka old clients, and just showing how much time has gone into it. And honestly, I know it might sound like a simple skill. It's not, but like writing posts that are actually still engaging and fun, or creating the actual imagery or video behind it, that's the hardest part, and that takes up so much time. Like, I can just write a post about anything. It's not that easy. You have to like be in the mood.
Yeah.
You have to make a content counter. There's so much work that goes into it.
It has to relate to the business.
Yeah.
It's business values, and every business values is different. One of the things I struggle with is, or what I've noticed is, by having like my This Is Oklahoma and then a couple others, I never post to my own stuff anymore.
Yep.
Which, like,
I suffer from that.
And I'm just like, when's the last? And I checked the other day. I was like, whoa, it's been like a couple of weeks. Which usually before you had to, when you have, and you're always posting stuff. Yeah. It's like, I was scrolling through my photos on my iPhone. Like, I can't remember the last time I actually took a photo that was like for my feed. I should probably start doing that again.
You should.
But it's something that I hope people like you, me, others who want to get into Instagram creating, that people realize that, okay, it's less than paying someone a salary of $40,000 a year to do it, but it's still, half that would be great, right? But also, like, it's not just $200 a month. You know, it's like you need to invest in it, because, like you said, especially now with COVID, that's your entire business. Everyone's on their phone. That's where you get your business, like ordering your food or whatever it is. And that's one thing. That's one like gripe, I guess, I have. It's like, wake up a little bit and you will realize, and you build it, and in a few years.
Yeah, I've also got this negative view on the Oklahoma marketplace, is that it's not as ready and prepped as like Dallas and LA. 100%. Like, if I brought my services to Dallas, I'd have a gig every day. Right. Where, it's a smaller market here, smaller city, and it is growing very fast, but it's still like people get sticker shock. Yeah. But I'm like, this is discounted. Call Saxum, call Ackerman. Like, get a quote. I tell all my clients, whether or not they want to work, before they're even our client, it's like, get a quote from other people too. Yeah. Because one, I know that ours will come back lower. But two, if it doesn't, that's fine. I want people to be happy at the end of the day. Yeah. If we work together, you'll be happier. But
right, yeah,
if we
100%.
don't, you're still happy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm more about community building and relationships.
Yeah.
More so than.
That's awesome. I love that. It's more of an easily like a personal connection, isn't it? But you're right. It's with the creative and the time it takes and what you said there. Like we are in Oklahoma. It's a good thing sometimes when you get in early because you can see trends coming from either side of the coast. You see them in the big cities, and we know that. And one thing I kind of constantly remind myself at is, okay, I'm building a following now. It's people, it's doing great now, but in 5 years when it's got 6-figure following, then people realize the value.
Oh yeah.
Then I'm there, and the same thing with you. It's like, I have this following, I have this creative agency. We've been building and slowly playing the marathon. Yeah. Right. And getting these relationships up. And then once they realize the value in it, the door starts knocking, the phone starts ringing, and you're like, okay, now I'm turning people down or tripling and doubling your charge just so you can get people in the door.
Yeah. You have to.
It's got to be done. So, you initially focus a lot on the food then, on this. So where does the love of food come from?
Dude, what? Everybody loves food.
Right, but like,
I know.
Being creative, I mean, I've tried to take, I've done some stuff with Brandon Smith, who does amazing food photography, and I've tried to take photos of food and I just can't.
Oh, he's the goat. Yeah. Brandon's amazing. I actually just worked with him too. He's starting to do live stream productions with Emma of Plants. Yes. And he came to the right guy because I learned all this stuff so fast.
Oh yeah.
But I've worked with Brandon. So let me tell you how I met Brandon. My friends and I, who were all living in the same house, I was doing all this food stuff.
Right.
And then the owner of Guernsey Park told me that he bought this new space in Midtown and he's going to open up a food hall. I was like, well, what's a food hall? Like, everybody, the mall, right?
Like,
everybody's like
movies,
the mall.
He's
like, no,
mass chaos.
No, go to Legacy in Dallas. Like, go to like all the real food halls and like, it's like craft. Like, craft is not really the right word. That's more beer, but like it's real, made on-site food.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a really cool idea. It's
not chains. It's local.
No. Yeah. And he goes, yeah, and then we're going to have a competition for a couple of the kitchens. I was like, what? Yeah, if they win, they get a space, they get a marketing budget, they'll get a first food order for free. Yeah. So that's a really good opportunity. And then I went back and told all my friends, they're like, okay, hit the drawing board. What are we going to do?
Yeah, what are we going to get? We got to get on this.
So I worked, this guy named Spence, he was the GM of Golden Corral at the time, and he was the friend I was living with, it was his father. And Spence has traveled the world and like he really is a genuine amazing chef. Like this guy, I have good Spence stories too. I'm trying not to derail all the way, but one quick Spence story for Spence if he's listening.
Yeah.
Spence, I lived in this apartment and Spence lived downstairs and Sean and I were upstairs. But I remember one night Spence was like, hey, I'm going to make you guys homemade pasta. And I'm like, cool. And he gets out the dryer, have you seen one of those?
The whole
pasta?
Deal. Yeah.
It's like, cool, a little bowl of pasta. And he's like, I've never made this kind of noodle though. And I can't remember what it was, but it was like a harder noodle to make because he was testing himself. He makes it. He's like, I screwed up. And this is like 9 p.m. I'm like, Spence, like, I'm hungry, dude.
I'll eat anything.
I got to go to bed
now.
too. Yeah. But I ate the one that he screwed up on and it was really good. And it just had like olive oil and a couple herbs. And he's like, no. Okay, so now it's like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm asleep, obviously. Chris, Sean, I don't want to blow your mic, but he yells, and I'm like, oh, shoot, there's a fire. Like, I don't know. I was scared because you wake up out of that state. I go downstairs and every freaking cabinet in the kitchen and drawer is open, and there's pasta hanging everywhere. And we're like, what do you want, old man? And he goes, I figured it out. I was like, Spitz, I can't eat this tomorrow.
Yeah. Can I wait?
Eating pasta at 1 a.m. Like, it was amazing. But that's when I knew it was like, Spence isn't messing around. He's the real deal.
Right.
So we entered this competition with our Dutch babies. It was Oh Baby. We got lucky enough to win. So we have a space in the collective.
Okay.
And that's like the middle spot of how much I've loved food.
Yeah.
And then this was a lot of fun. And it is so difficult to own a restaurant.
Yeah.
Do not recommend.
Yeah, I don't. It's just, I like
though.
food, but I can't cook to save my life, and I just don't like. No, it would fry me.
I've just always loved the passion.
Yeah.
Because the people like Spence, exactly like Spence, are most of the people you will actually see in the white coats behind in the kitchen. Like they genuinely care about the food.
They do it because, you're right. They do because they love it, and there's a process, and you stay up till 1 a.m. fixing it, finding a recipe, whatever. Yeah,
that's what helped me see the passion behind it, and then what had me excited about it early on was just the creativity of it. This reminded me, I've actually had recipes submitted to a cookbook as a kid. Yeah, making like steak sauce tacos was what I submitted, and it got accepted. So like I was just always making really freaking weird shit, and like some of it was disgusting. Like I was really obsessed with brownies for a little while, and I like put in different candies or like try to put like peanut butters in them, and like everyone loved that because it was sweets. But like,
of course,
just the creativity and the passion behind food is what really got me excited about it all, and I just wanted to be in the bubble. And like you just said earlier, how we can foresee the trends coming to Oklahoma City. The trend was foods. LA's food scene was hopping. It still is. It always will be. Right. But, and that wave just came down here, and you saw like literally, I tell people as a joke, oh, a new restaurant opens every other week. Well, it's not really a joke.
It might be 2.
And so, that's kind of just been full circle.
The timing was really good then for you because, you love food, you're doing creative, and you see this opportunity, and you're like, okay, if I get, I'm in on one's working, then you become the creative go-to for restaurants and craft beer or whatever, right? Yeah. Which is great for you.
Yeah. The downside is they don't have big marketing budgets.
Yeah, especially starting out.
Yeah. So that's where I learned to diversify. Okay. And I saw the other trend in LA. Marijuana. Right. Yeah. And so I started reaching out to, the first one reached out to me, which is amazing. And it clicked, and we did good and got a couple different cannabis-based clients after that. And that's been my latest reoccurring revenue. Okay. In that way, I always have to keep a flat reoccurring. Yeah. You get it. Yeah. And then we tag on these big video projects, and those can go wherever. Gotcha. And those help us expand.
Right. And that's a lesson for people listening too that want to start a business. It's like if you can get that, you figure out how much you need to make every month, bills, whatever it is. You get a couple of clients and you just keep them, right? 12-month contracts, whatever, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is, and know that your base is covered. It allows you to take bigger risks.
Exactly.
And invest in video and do the stuff that like, okay, we might not know how to do this yet, but we're going to invest in the equipment and figure it out. And then next year or in 6 months, we'll be confident that we can add the value that we're charging.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. What's some of the projects you've worked on people might know, or that some that just stood out that have just been an absolute blast?
A lot of my projects, I don't know if they're known in the Oklahoma marketplace, but I've done a lot of work with Team USA and Taekwondo and fencing.
Really?
Just specific athletes. Yeah. We actually did a documentary for Stephen Lambden. He's the heavyweight world Taekwondo champion. Okay. And he is amazing.
Where's he from?
Texas. Okay. Yeah. But the Devon Boathouse is an Olympic training facility. Yeah. So he was up here in Oklahoma. Yeah. And my friend Cody is also black belt Taekwondo, and they went to the same dojang. Okay. And so he knew that Cody was a creative guy, and Cody knew that I was a creative guy, but also had a bigger business background. Yeah. So we linked up, and we're like, because Steven wanted to do something no matter what. He just didn't know what. Yeah. So we're just doing some small fun media pictures and some videos, and like it takes off just a little tiny bit. Like it's the buzz of the Olympics about to start. Like we definitely hit it at the right time, Right. Uninterrupted calls. They called me. They're like, "Hey, is this Chris Cox?" And I was like, I hate answering unknown numbers, but I do because I don't answer. Sometimes it's like something like this, or it's the IRS. And I'll tell you that one in a second. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this is him. Yeah, this is blah, blah, blah. I work at Bleacher Report, and LeBron here saw some of the stuff for Steven, and they want to do a documentary. I was like, LeBron? Yeah. Yes, sir. LeBron James. I was like,
oh, like the LeBron James.
And then I called Cody right away. He's like, we have a job. Yeah. And so that was so much fun. And that was like the very first real video production that I got to work on.
So you went and worked on a documentary
with Stephen Lambden, paid for by LeBron James. But
that's sick.
We only heard from LeBron one time.
Why was it paid for by LeBron?
He owns Uninterrupted. Okay. I guess. Okay. And that was when he either first bought it or first started it, and he was just funding it all. Like the check we have if it didn't have the dollar amount on it, we would have just framed it.
Yeah.
But it needed to be cashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
it's
cool.
so random.
Yeah.
It's super random.
That is,
We
yeah.
were like the only options to be hired because we're the ones literally on the ground
yeah.
floor with Stephen Lambden. Like,
Yeah.
other big ones I've worked on. I like the stuff we're doing right now, but it's a lot of the stuff we do is somehow very internal. So
Okay.
we're working with the Girl Scouts right now,
Sure.
and it is so much fun.
When are their cookies coming out? Is it anytime soon? I was
Yeah.
going to say it's
Very
February,
soon.
isn't it?
Very soon. This is actually what we're working
Cannot
on.
wait for that.
A cookie rally video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been to their new camp yet?
No, but
it's
we're gonna
awesome.
go.
It's,
yeah.
I mean,
You
it's,
have?
yeah, it's so the Camp Trevera it's over by the zoo. Oh, it's amazing.
I've seen the photos of the facility, and it's mind blowing. Like that organization. Obviously, I always had an appreciation for the Girl Scouts, but I didn't really understand how much they deserve to be appreciated.
Right.
Until we started working with them. Like, they are changing little girls' lives and helping them be strong and charismatic, and people skills is a big selling point for them. They're really pushing STEM, which is amazing. Actually, STEAM is the new word, I believe.
STEAM is the new one.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can add in art.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But
which is a lot more attractive than STEM.
Yes.
Right, just to say as a word and as a branding thing. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just really fun to work with because obviously our missions align is to help people be better.
Right.
So I love that, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the content we're capturing with them is just like stuff that I already love. You've seen the horse photos. I try not to get too crazy with the horse photos, but man, horses are amazing animals. Like,
yeah.
And then I do think the audience does love horses too, so I probably could post more
Especially in
horse photos.
Oklahoma,
I
it's
know.
fun.
I probably
Yeah.
should post more. I have amazing horse photos.
If you like horse photos, you should. Matt Payne. Matt's photos are probably on the wall behind us.
Oh,
We're down at
snap.
Bedford's, and Matt are partners and stuff. But Matt has some horses in Edmond on his property, and if you go to his Instagram, he's got some great horse photos.
We got this clip, and I will definitely share it after the client uses the video. But we were at Express Ranch, the Clydesdale Ranch.
Yeah.
And there's a front pasture, and there's just 3 freaking huge, beautiful horses. And we just had, Stein had his gimbal, and we go, okay, Chase, scare the horses.
Yeah.
And he just starts running with them. And then the horses are just,
Yeah.
but it's so steady on the gimbal.
Yeah.
And the little sun peeks through some of their mane hair.
Oh,
I'm like,
it's so good.
this is beautiful.
You're like, I don't want to give this shot to anybody but myself.
It's
But
so good.
Yeah.
We also have some slow mo of like them eating, and their mouths are so weird. The lips and the. I love it though.
They
It's
are
so fun.
beautiful, beautiful animals.
They're smart.
Every time I think of horses, so the drink Guinness, right? The Guinness beer. There was a Guinness commercial in the UK, and I think it was around Christmas maybe, but it was like it's shot in black and white, and these horses are running through the waves on a beach.
Yeah.
And it just stands out. The music, I can kind of remember the music, and it was kind of intense and slow motion of these horses. I'm like, it's nothing about Guinness beer, but
Horses.
I might want to be it now, whatever. But yeah, it's horses scare me though.
Yeah,
Like, I have
that's a
fear
pretty
of riding
common
horses.
thing. One of the folks that was joining us on the shoot was so scared of the horses.
Yeah.
And I get it. I'm comfortable because I've been around them, but like they're big, especially Clydesdales. Like maybe that's not the horses she needs to be around.
Yeah, don't stand on the back of those just
No
in case
way.
they want to stretch their back legs a few times.
But I love America's fascination with horses, and it might just be more than America, but there's the Budweiser Clydesdales.
Yeah.
There's the horsepower in your vehicle out there.
Yeah,
Like
Mustangs,
horses are
Mustang cars.
Yeah, a lot of. I don't know. I've just always loved horses, and I love and respect the history of horses, and horses helped build where we're at today in the weirdest way possible. It's not a stretch, though. It's very true.
Right. Yeah, they came from being transport and everything else, and now
Isn't that
thankfully,
crazy?
I mean, some of them are still doing that, but now people get to use them as as a hobby and other stuff. And you mentioned the Olympics. When you watch the horses in the Olympics, do the fancy dressage and dancing, like. It's pretty impressive stuff. I don't do that. I would love to be able to. I'm super impatient, and I'm like, I know I need to take the time to learn how to ride a horse, but I am like I want to take it and I want to ride it down the waves right now.
You can do that.
I need to do it with a helmet and a full face of like camo Kevlar, whatever it is.
No.
Like I need to be like a knight dressed up. If I fall off, I'm probably going to hurt something.
I'll take you down to Medicine Park, and we've got some horses you can just hop on.
Some wild ones and just jump on.
I mean, we can find some wild horses too.
Yeah, I'm going to get out an insurance policy before I do that.
Can I get one on you as well?
Yeah,
okay,
it might be valuable. I don't know how much it would. Well, it might be valuable. We'll see. Maybe we'll find out. Tell me about the tiger thing. I want to know about the tiger, like where that passion comes from, and then, I mean, with us now, this state is sadly famous for tigers.
Okay, I do want to be on the record.
I'll give you that opportunity.
You do. I am not the Tiger King, nor will I ever be, nor do I want to be, nor is he inspiring me in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Disclaimer. That's out the way.
That came out, and I really enjoyed that documentary, but
I think a lot of people did too.
There's a great article, and I encourage you to read it, by Texas Monthly, and it's an article that came out before the documentary about the Tiger King, and I mean, you will be crying by the end of it. You will empathize with him, and then you'll realize that he's gone too far, and there is no need to empathize with this man. To the point of him shooting tigers in the back of the head,
which is ridiculous,
and pushing them into a hole, or just a pile of dead animals, to make room for a circus that was going to pay him rent.
Yeah.
So
it's
that guy's a POS,
story.
Honestly.
Yeah.
But I love tigers, and I love all animals. Honestly.
Yeah.
You will look at our brand kit, and all the colors that you see are from some of my favorite animals. So pink is flamingos. Yeah. Not a lot of people know that. I'm planning on writing stories about each color for the band eventually, but there's so many things going on, those are such back burner projects. But tigers have always stood out to me just because I know that I'm not, but oftentimes I feel alone. And it's just because, like, I know what I want to do, and it's hard to achieve it. And you need that buy-in, you need that realness. But, like, you also can just keep going yourself. But when you make a pride and you come together and you're a team, it just goes so much further. And that's the perfect demonstration of a tiger, because a solo tiger, you're not going to mess with that thing, right? It'll mess you up. Right. It is strong. It is powerful. It is beautiful. But, like, imagine like 5 tigers, you'd be like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah,
this is it for me.
Yeah.
And they're just like, their sounds they make, or tigers roar. One of my most popular videos on YouTube, and I hate this because I make cool content, is a flip camera. You remember the little flip? Ugh.
Yeah.
From GW Zoo.
Okay.
Of a tiger and a lion fighting. They're fenced off, but you just hear their deep roars, and I feel like you hear it come from the stomach, and it just boils up. Yeah. It just sounds so cool. I don't know. They're very admirable animals.
Have you seen the guy? You love tigers. You must know the guy who's in South Africa? He's like he just goes with a GoPro and just cuddles with them or whatever.
That's my freaking dream, dude.
I mean, this guy is like, this is insane. Yeah. I mean, he goes and cuddles with tigers.
Yeah.
And like
wild tigers.
I think there's a National Geographic did a huge documentary on him, and GoPro.
He is a GoPro creator.
I mean, it's just amazing.
That footage is beautiful. Definitely have seen it.
Yeah. Do you know David Yarrow, the photographer?
That sounds super familiar.
Yeah, you'll know his photos. He takes a lot of black and white photos, and he's taken some amazing photos of African safari and tigers and models and all the rest of it. Like, he's a British photographer, but he's sold a lot of paintings for his artwork. His photography is sold as artwork because it's all black and white. It looks amazing. Just amazing follow on Instagram if you love that stuff too. And he started a YouTube channel of like a BTS of his shoots.
Nice.
And the YouTube following is nothing. It's like 2,000 or 3,000 maybe. But the videos are so good. Yeah. And like, about how he creates everything, and he's done some very significant photo shoots with some amazing people. He did like a wolf series, and then there's like, I mean, it's just, you got a live wolf, like it's absolutely amazing.
I'm down for that. That's so cool. I love working with animals.
As a creative too, you're like, whoa, this looks so good. But I mean, finishing up, where 2021 is here. What are we looking to do in the future? Where are we looking to pivot? There's always being creative and moving and pushing the boundaries, trends and stuff like that. Where do you see you taking the house this year?
So 2021 is definitely. We've got a theme song for this year already. It's Duckworth Money Dance.
Okay.
We're not greedy, but this is the year that we are really going to start hammering down contracts and pushing out as much commercial work as possible. Yeah. Only so that we can fund our future personal endeavors, because like we're buying more and more hardware, we're buying toys and gear, and It adds up so fast. Like,
it's not cheap. Is
I
it?
would say in 2020, I've
when a tripod
probably
is $500.
Yeah,
the camera's like 10.
I've definitely lost a lot of money last year just gearing up, but I am not even 1 ounce mad about that because it's stuff that I'm now using daily. So this year we really want to hammer out commercial contracts, but more so we've completely shifted our focus on the front end of the house to be a media agency.
Gotcha.
So we will have a back end marketing agency, and that's how we're going to keep making our money.
Gotcha.
But we're kind of handpicking clients at this point, which is a nice thing to have. So we're working on producing more articles this year with actual experts. The last one we did was with a crisis hotline counselor, and he's been working there for years and received thousands of calls.
Yeah.
This is one of my friends. I said, hey, would you be willing to just write a short article about how people can have coping mechanisms or like some strategies or ways to identify, the doom scrolling is a real thing, and I hate it, and I do it sometimes too.
Yeah.
So I want to have more content on our website that adds value to not just Oklahoma and Oklahoma City, but like human beings.
The greater good in general, and mentally to make people, not do the doom scroll thing to find the bottom of the internet, and that whole, what was that TV show, documentary that just came out?
Oh.
Social Dilemma.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, which I've seen it. Yes, there are elements of that that's true, and there's elements of that that obviously been dramatized for TV.
Oh, I'm sure.
But, the greater, I think, the theme of that thing is correct, isn't it? And I hopefully if you haven't watched it, you should watch it and realize that you need to be more aware of what this is doing to you and the relationships within your house.
Yeah.
And if you're a parent, the relationships between you and your kids. And I had someone on the podcast recently who said that her kid's like 11, I think, and she said, so we're all going to be on our phones tonight? She just made that comment because like mum, dad, and the kid was on their phones, and she's like, you tell me I'm not allowed to be on my phone, but where everyone's on it.
Yeah.
So the whole example.
I hate that.
But maybe that's exciting going forward.
Yeah. I've got 2 more big ventures, I would say big, subjectively, but the House Helps, I want that to become a full-time position for me so I can just be the executive director of the House Helps as a fully functioning 501c3. That's a goal for this year for sure, which comes with a lot of hustling.
Yeah.
Because we do need corporate sponsors or some way to fund the actual business. In conjunction with that, I've got a space downtown on 4th and Broadway. It's above tap architecture, and it's just 11,500 square feet open warehouse space.
That's sick.
So we're going to start building out our studio there and then offering a lot of that space for rent.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of room.
My vision with
square feet.
Yeah, and downtown, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
My vision is to have tenants, whatever we call them, that have creative jobs as well. So, I really wanted Zeta to get in there and do her nails in there because the nail art she posts is amazing. That would be so fun for me to shoot photos of if she just walks across the hall and
step into the booth. Yeah.
And I'm going to show someone it soon that does aerial dancing.
Okay.
So she needs like a big tall aerial acrobatics and all the above. So she needs a big tall space, and like that would be super cool because I can just set up a time lapse or a video or like it would be really cool to create a house of people that could all work together. Like that would be really neat. So I'm more excited to do the House Help stuff because those are the best shoots I've been on.
Right.
Everyone's there for the right reason. And I mean, like we're live.
Right, and and that's
we're
the best
engaging.
thing. And I love that, like the fact that you are. Some of the people that you're helping out, you actually know them personally.
Yeah.
Right? They're friends of yours who go to restaurants, who own businesses, places that you eat, places that you drink. Like it's building the community and keeping, the community in Oklahoma City, keeping it thriving and helping out. Like it's not like you're raising money for a company in Dallas or whatever. Like, this is staying in Oklahoma City. It's business owners that live in Oklahoma City that want to be here, that live, grew up here. There's nothing better than adding value to your own town. I
think it's pretty fun.
Where can everyone follow you, reach out, get involved? If they are listening to this and they're like, whoa, 11,000 square feet on Broadway, I want to be involved.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm just easily found on any social platform at the Chris Cox. We're talking any social platform, even the ones in Russia.
Even Parler? Are you on Parler?
Well, not that one. I don't think that one exists anymore, right?
I don't know.
Instagram's probably where I look the coolest.
Yeah.
And then at the House OKC, and then at the House Helps.
Awesome.
Or just Google us. We'll show up.
You'll show up. The tiger will show up.
Yeah, look for that tiger.
Yeah, and if you want to go see that photo of Chris with the ketchup on your head like American Psycho, it's totally worth going to Chris's Instagram and seeing that, because it is quite entertaining.
I'll give you a spoiler for closer. My next food-based shoot will feature a vat of peanut butter. We'll just put it that way.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's going to take a long time to clean off.
It's yeah. It's
Crunchy?
not going to be fun. I should do crunchy. I think it's a better look.
We will leave it at that.
Okay.
Mate, thanks for coming down. For everyone listening, thanks for listening, checking in. And I'll post all the links to Chris's stuff down below in the description. You can catch us next episode. Cheers.
Thanks, y'all.
This podcast was presented by the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, who've been telling Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. Follow them online at oklahomahof.com and definitely on Instagram at oklahomahof. Catch you next episode. Cheers.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This Is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.